we're going over things that are completely missing from professional wrestling because everybody wants to backflip. I'm not going to backflip for you because it's nonsense. If you have ever been in a, and I know this analogy gets thrown out there, but if you're going to throw out that wrestling's subjective while we're losing money and we're losing fans and we're losing a part of history in this business, if you're going to toss in my face that wrestling's subjective, Tyson, then I'm going to throw in your face every time. If I was in a real altercation, would I backflip? I'm just going to, we're just going to meet and butt heads in the middle. So it's either one way or the other way. Obviously, your way's not working if you're backflipping and we're losing fans every single day. And once they leave, they ain't coming back. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I will give you an example. My 4-year-old can watch wrestling now. He understands professional wrestling at 4 years old. He sees wrestling all the time. I don't tell him what I'm watching. I just watch a whole range of stuff. I actually help review matches for independent guys that want my help and tear their stuff apart, make them better, and like they have thick skins and they can handle it. I watch those matches. I watch a lot of Japanese style matches. All Japan being my favorite company in the 90s. I watch a lot of stuff. And my son, who is 4 years old, is infatuated with Bret Hart and the 1, 2, 3 Kid. I couldn't be more proud. But like seriously, what stands out to that boy at 4 that like he doesn't understand the rest of it, but he certainly doesn't like any of the modern stuff. And that's not because of me, because I watch it all. I watch it all because I have to study it and I have to roll my eyes sometimes. But it's at the end of the day, there's something about that era of professional wrestling that sticks out to him because it's actually something worth watching. That's cold hard facts right there, baby. That's cold hard facts. Today we're going over moves that are completely missing from professional wrestling, and the art of professional wrestling itself, we've lost our way completely. So today we're going over strikes. Ooh, big one. It's a strike day. Strike day today. Me and Rodney Matthews, I'm going to smack him around a bit because Rodney Matthews is a tough dude and he don't mind getting smacked around. And plus we've had a couple shows on independent matches where he's actually hit me a couple times. So he had this coming. Don't feel bad for Rodney Matthews. He had it coming. So today, a lot of times we go over the fact that punches, they talk about punches having a big face having a great punch. And a great punch, a baby face with a great punch will make a lot of money. I agree, that's true, but I am so dismayed with what has become of professional wrestling, I don't even see a punch anymore. When is it that you've ever punched somebody in the face and then they just stuck their chin out for a second one? When is it that, why would you punch a man and he would not cover up? So why have we introduced in a sport where it's supposed to be grappling based, why do we introduce punches to the face, which is an MMA thing? You ever see a guy in the MMA get punched in the face? You don't want to get hit the second time. That's just the way it is. And they have gloves on, not to protect against the impact, but just not to bust up their knuckles or cut that guy's face right away. And that's basically why they wear those gloves. Tough human beings. Professional wrestling's different. I've said it before. Phony and fake, MMA. Somewhere in the middle, we find pro wrestling, and that's the way it is. It's a grappling-based thing. So when you do strike a person, it should mean something. And if you punch somebody, it should be a disqualification. Because nowhere in amateur wrestling, nowhere in wrestling, if it's a pure sport, would you punch a guy. That's against the rules. So obey the rules. That's the first part of wrestling. So today I'm going to go over a few different things that get you away from punching, get you away from European uppercuts. We went over European uppercuts to do a proper one and a solid one, but we want to get away from doing as many Europeans because on every independent level show and on the big screens, everybody throws a European, either good or bad. They're just going to throw Europeans. Too many Europeans. And the one thing that I love the most about strikes is chops. I love to throw chops. Gets good sound, gets good reaction, there's a heavy impact there. People believe in it because it looks real. It hurts a lot. I am so dismayed with chops because everybody and their grandma and their sister and their long-distance relative are chopping them. Everybody chops. Like, it used to be Ric Flair. That was the only human being that would chop a man. And then Ronnie Garvin with his overhand chops, Ric Flair with his chops, and then here comes Ricky Steamboat with his thrust chops, and then his normal chops, and Snuka with his double chops. See, I named the ones that actually counted. And the rest of them are, nowadays, everybody does it. Like, there's no difference. There's just, everybody knows how to do everything, eh? And that just makes for a blend of homogenized milk. It's just white milk everywhere you go. Let's change that up. So today, I'm going to show you a forearm in the chest, which is a Fit Finley Classic, which I love. We're not going to do it in the corner today. I don't have to buckle him in the corner. I'm just going to do one where he's standing. I'm going to hit him in the chest. I'm also going to show you the one in the back. And then we will go over axe handles. Because we're talking about forgotten things in professional wrestling. What is more forgotten than an axe handle? I haven't seen an axe handle in years, man. I have not. I throw them every once in a while just because they're funny. Just to me, because I'm like, oh, I'm doing an axe handle. But it's completely gone for pro wrestling. So let's try to bring these back, guys. It never needed to disappear, never needed to be forgotten. These all worked. Macho Man, live forever, baby. So what we're going to do is, Roddy Matthews is going to be kind of like he's on the cell. I don't have to lock up or anything like that. We're not going to do any of that. But the one thing I want to do is protect him as much as possible, because this man's taking something from me. He has given me his body to actually smack. So why would I be careless with it? He has his hands down. If his hands were up, this wouldn't work. So why would I take advantage of that and hurt him? So what you want to do is just make sure that the chin is back. So if you push on his chin and get his chin back, that's basically what you want to do. Now, your feet, as you can tell by my big old banana boots, your toe should be facing his toe. His opposite, like your toes should be in line. Or your foot should be on the outside of his foot. You know why? Because it squares up the body. If my foot is in the middle of his feet, I only have one side of the pec to work on. And even though Roddy Matthews has righteous pecs, it's not going to work. It's got to be the full chest. You need that full chest. And you want to be above the nipples, but below the collarbone. So you don't mess them up. You don't hit him in the throat. You don't hit him in the chin. So what you're going to do is hold your fist like you have a roll of dimes in there. If you rolled up a handful of dimes or whatever, you had dimes in your hand, that's the way you want it. So you want to be able to get your finger in there, and it's nice and solid, but you want to keep air. You want to keep it loose so you can get some sound if you have to. And then you're going to hit with the forearm. So the meat of your forearm is what's going to do the damage. So once you push that chin back, and then you have him there, you're going to line him up and wind up like a baseball. Foot is beside his foot, nice and square. I'm going to wind up like I'm going to go for a baseball, and then as I come in, boom, I'm going to hit him in the chest. So as I come over, throw, I come in and I line up and I put it right across his chest. So this time we're going to do it for real. So right here, bring it back, and then boom. Every time with wrestling this way, this business is great, or can be great. I didn't slap my leg. I didn't have to. There was contact with my forearm in his chest, and you can hear it. You can hear the impact. Once you start hearing impact, people start to put the sounds together. The sound, the visual, the senses come together, and then it makes for actual good pro wrestling. So I'm going to bend him over now. Insert joke there. Once we're in this position, it's the same thing. We're going for that same kind of forearm feel. But what I want to do is when you're doing the forearm in the back is I want to make sure that this hand is a guide. So my left hand, because I'm right-handed, my left is going to be the guide, and I'm going to protect his neck. And I'm going to find my range. So when I have Roddy Matthews, I'm going to have his neck here so that I'm in range, that when I hit him, I don't hit his neck, I hit the top of his shoulders where the meat is, where he bumps so it doesn't hurt as much. I keep this nice and loose, and then what I'm going to do is swing. And as I swing, I get this hand out of the way. So as I come up, boom, right there. Hand there, boom, nice and easy, right? See how it's straight? Stay straight. I don't bend it all weird. It stays nice and solid, but it's loose. Great, you find that middle part, and then every time. Get sound every time. Okay, so here we go. This is the last one. So we've just went over forearm in the chest, forearm in the back, nice and solid. We don't have to go over flippers today. We're just going over old school, forgotten holds. So the forearms are never used. I never see them used anymore. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over axe handle. Axe handle is completely forgotten in the strike game. Nobody does axe handles anymore. When we're doing a proper axe handle, what we want to do is we want to grab our hands like this. Like almost like you're praying, but not this. Never interlock these fingers. You'll break your fingers. You'll bang them up. It's not good. Plus, it isn't a fist. We're not going for a fist. The idea is it's a big club with the forearms. So a lot of times when they hit forearms or they hit these axe handles, they hit them in the head and then they break away, which is silly. It's foolish. Because if you ever hit a man like this in the head, it would bust your hands up. The only human being that can get away with that is a macho man, because he come off of very high places, a very large man coming off very high places, and to work for him. But to do a proper axe handle, we want to grab these hands here and we want to hit with the meaty part of our forearm. So once he's over in that position, we want to find that shoulders, that meat of the back, and we want to make sure that we extend over our head. So as soon as we extend over, boom. Don't need to stomp. He does the stomp for me. When he's bumping, when he's selling, you're just going to come down nice and solid, bang, and hit him. These arms are going to come up and straight down. Keep them nice and loose. Really great. Off the ropes is a good one too, because then you can come up like a Polish hammer. Polish hammer, Ivan Putski. Check him out. Biggest dude ever. Like small, tiny dude with the most jacked physique. Very intense, and his thing was a Polish hammer, which is all it is an axe handle to the chest. Boom. Same thing. It's just your forearms in a closed position like swinging a baseball bat, clubbing that guy in the chest. It's perfect. Start looking at these holds as like something different. Don't go back to the well of punching chops and European uppercuts. They're overplayed. Use something else. I gave you options right there. 3 options that will work for you no matter what. Professional wrestling. To be a professional wrestler, you have to learn to wrestle. So let me build your foundation. Become the best professional wrestler you can be. Let's start now.